there. I am no longer Nick. Just saying. I've been tagged in, and I have here folks who are going to introduce themselves and their game.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Nick Baker. And Sam?
I'm Sam.
Yeah. This is Steel Heel Jam. Let me just back out. There, Steel Heel Jam, and it's a local multiplayer kind of wrestling battle royale game that you can play with your friends if you like, or enemies. Sam, if you want to join in.
So where did this game come from?
So this started out as a production studio class project last semester, so fall of 2022, and we formed a team with two other people, Brian and Josh, and we kind of just from start to finish, this is after about three and a half months, this is the final product.
This is a pretty polished game.
Thank you.
Already. Did
Yeah.
you already know before you got into the studio that you were going to be a team and this was the project?
No, so I think you and Brian pretty much knew that you were going to work together, right, like from the start, and then Josh and I were looking for a team, and we joined like the first week or two.
Yeah, that's basically what happened, yeah. And Brian made all the music and sound effects. Sam and Josh, you guys did a lot of the programming, a lot of the combat design, things like that. And I did all of the art that you're seeing. Anything visual that you see is custom made. And I did some of the programming as well. So, yeah.
Up to how many players?
You can have up to 8 players. And there's also computer-controlled bots that can fill in the slots if you like. So we can turn those on too.
Okay.
Just get those all, fill in the whole match.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So I guess we can just get started if you'd like.
Yeah.
And you can customize your character. There's a variety of different hairstyles and skin colors and hair colors that you can pick from. So
let's just have a look at this.
Yeah. And I almost forgot to mention one other person, the announcer. We named this announcer Colonel Munster because he's very cheesy. We wrote all these lines from him. He's voiced by Kira Newell, who is a friend of mine.
The vibe is so good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like me to describe kind of what's happening?
Yeah,
I guess.
Please do.
So the objective of the game is there's a ring that's you can't really see it right now because it's big, but it's closing in on a single point in the map. That point is kind of random each match, and you have you have 2 kind of meters next to your player. The one that is a solid color is your health and stamina. We call it your approval, kind of like audience approval, right? It will kind of refill over time, and it will deplete when you get hit. If you run out of approval and you are outside the ring, then you are eliminated. So if you stay in the ring, you're fine, but you'll get knocked around.
Last person standing?
Basically, yeah. Yep. And the rainbow meter that you see, that's tied to the spotlight that you see there. If you flex in the spotlight, we have a dedicated flex button. So if you flex in the spotlight, it fills the meter up, and then you get a buff that lasts for the rest of the match.
So, I think I need my glasses. Are you striking a pose?
Yeah, you do kind of like a...
Yeah, so if you look at player 2 right now,
Yeah.
and player 1, so if you're holding the B button, that's when you're doing like the flex. And so if you're out of the spotlight, you'll see your meter recharge, or go down, sorry, because your health goes up. But if you're in the spotlight, it's the other way, and it'll count up till it's full, and then you'll get a power up.
Yeah, and so you kind of strike the like this kind of pose. I don't know how to describe it, the one arm out, kind of like the...
Oh, yeah.
The Adonis.
Yeah.
Sure. Sweet.
And so there's like 7 or 8 different weapons.
Yeah, I think something along those lines, and maybe like 6 power-ups, or is there more?
I think there's 5, and then the 6th one is kind of the heal fire.
Okay.
So once you get 2 buffs, the next buff you get is the heal fire, which is kind of this big ring of black and white flames that kind of engulf your player, and it'll hit anybody that kind of touches that, and it'll kind of knock them all out of the ring. So
do the players choose their abilities, or
it's random?
Okay.
Yeah. So the first 2 you get are totally random, and then when you get a third one, it's always the heal fire.
Yeah. And that how many you can get, you can adjust in the settings. So we made the game very kind of customizable for whatever rules you wanted.
Every time that happens, it just cracks me up.
Yeah. I love the explosions and stuff.
Maybe I miss it. I don't know how. How do I know what abilities you have?
When you get them, the announcer will kind of say it out loud, and it
Okay.
pops up like on your player a quick description.
Okay.
And there's a little icon kind of above your approval bar.
Yeah, it might be a bit hard to see because we're kind of far, but yeah, the icons they're like unique for each power up, so
Oh, I
you
see.
can kind of tell when you've been playing for a little bit. But,
Yeah. Sorry, Sam. I just eliminated you.
GG.
He's not really sorry.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's the game basically. We can show you the heal fire if you want. We can
Oh,
adjust
yeah.
the settings because I think that's a cool effect.
Absolutely.
Oh, and real quick,
I-
if you wanted to see the customization,
Oh, yeah.
because we didn't show that before.
Oh, please do.
So yeah, if you hover over your character and press X, you'll have this little like window pop up, and you can touch more on that probably because
Yeah.
you
So,
did that. So.
we've got a whole array of different skin tones you can pick from. Basically, be anyone you want. There's a couple different hairstyles. You got all sorts of different stuff here. Like personal favorite seems to always be this one. It's like the Goku. Kind of looks like Goku or
Yeah.
something from Dragon Ball. And then you also got a ton of different hair colors you can pick from.
I spend the beginning of every game investing a lot of time in my avatar.
Yeah.
And the ability, okay, I'm brown.
Yeah.
The idea that I can have me as a badass wrestler just
Yeah.
makes me super happy.
Yeah.
And yeah, would I go with, I think I would go with like the pom-pom here. But even so,
Yeah.
that
kinda
is
like,
fantastic. Having players, giving the players the ability to see themselves just is, it feels really, really good. And I applaud that.
Thank you. That was definitely a goal, was to just kind of make something that anyone can kind of see themselves in, and join in on the brawl. You know?
I think I also told you that I appreciated that. So it's an androgynous character. I was registering it was female, but this is a badass person. This is not sexually objectified.
Yeah.
And noted. I just want to say noted.
Thank you.
That felt really, really good.
Appreciate
Because
it.
I want to be a badass woman who beats the shit out, beats the heck out of people out there. I'm sorry,
I'm going to have
Dan.
to go through and bleep the
I'm
screen.
sorry. I'm sorry. Did you have problems like that when Stan was here?
No, that's why Stan's not there.
Oh, okay.
Stem was worse.
Stan is off camera. He's here, mocking us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm glad I'm glad that's seen, because that was definitely a conscious decision. So. Yeah. Let's start a new match, and we set the number of buffs you can get to 0. So the first buff you get is the heal fire. And it's probably going to get a little chaotic with this many players, but and the announcer, he'll yell out, "The heal fire has been ignited," or "Get away," or
Okay.
he's very emotive, and we had a lot of. That was probably, I think, Sam. I think we all agree that that was one of the most fun parts of the project. Was we had a whole Discord channel just of like. At any time of day, if you thought of a line for him to say, you just wrote in there, and then we
So
added
you can
it.
see I'm filling up here, and then.
Oh, you just got
I
hit
actually got hit out
second.
like a second before I get it. Okay, I got it now. So that black ring around me.
Yeah.
If
I
I like
see.
run into players, it throws them back and does damage.
Oh.
So it's really strong in like the final circle when there's not as much space for people to like run.
Mhm.
It's not as strong at the beginning of the game because there's so much more room.
Yeah.
It's HEEL
Yes.
fire.
Heal fire, kind of like hellfire, but heal fire.
Okay.
'Cause a heel in wrestling is like is like an evil person or something like that. It's kind of a
Okay.
it's
The
it's a
bad
character.
person.
Yeah.
Like the
so
bad guy.
Okay.
we kind of like the idea. That's why
I was
you're.
hearing HEAL. It's like you're helping people.
Oh no,
It's actually the opposite.
No,
Yeah.
you are not nice.
Yeah, but that's why, like the meter you have is like the approval meter, and it's all about flexing in the spotlight, because it's kind of based on your wrestling TV, things
Oh,
like that.
I
So.
see. I see now. Now that I'm oriented. Boo!
Yeah. Or cheer, Everyone-
Well, in wrestling, when you're booing, it's great.
That's true. Yeah.
Any strong reaction is a good reaction in
Yeah.
wrestling.
Ben's monitoring comments. If you guys have any questions for the team, feel free to shout out.
Yeah, at the moment I just have some pocket stamps, heart, and a bunch of music notes.
All right, thank you.
Good feedback.
Mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that you guys could do this polish of a game with what we got 4 teammates,
Yeah.
what's kind of like a good, advice for people that are on the team? Because one of the things we really, focus on is team building and, communication and things like that. What would you guys say to that?
So I think one thing that helped us was having like a super consistent schedule to get together outside of class, like twice a week, every week after class. We spent like an hour or so after class in the lab, which is a good time to like either work on it or just like discuss things about the game and kind of all be together. I think that helped a lot with communication.
Yeah. I'd say another thing too, just with the, I guess, project in general, is that kind of from the start we kind of knew what we wanted to make. We kind of put out some, I guess, like ground rules of like specifically what we wanted. But we were still open for kind of, new ideas and things like the spotlight mechanic that wasn't in the original design. But the heal, we didn't even have the heal fire. We had heal as like a completely different thing. That it was like a debuff that kind of lowered your health over time. It was very weird. But after some play testing, we just we kind of reorientated that and made it a more impactful thing. So we had a solid kind of direction, but we were still able to be flexible and change. So that definitely helped.
This is a very clear, focused sort of vision. The experience is tight.
Yeah.
Was that there from the get-go, or did you guys come to that over time?
I think it was kind of there from the start. I mean, we knew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would say so. I think like definitely the vision from. I think originally like you and Brian kind of had this idea. I know you said you took a lot from like Rumbleverse as far as like the vision, and kind of the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it was pretty clear like from the get-go kind of what we were going for. We did pivot like a couple times with a few different like smaller things. I think like you said a minute ago, but yeah, I don't know if you had anything else on that. But
just kind of top-down local multiplayer, accessible kind of for everyone. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can attack, you can elbow drop, you can suplex, but all you kind of need to know is that jump and attack basically, and then you can kind of just press the other buttons. So that was a specific focus from the get-go, was just make it so everyone can kind of play. So yeah,
Definitely achieved.
The
Thank you.
your black and white fire thing is like a really cool aesthetic. I mean, it's the kind of thing that really makes your game like unique.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I can see like people talking about specifically just that. You know what I mean? What is it that led you to that? Because that's not, it's not typical. I mean, it's really unique.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Right before, so I did all the shader like tech art and stuff for this game, and I've always been trying to get like cool looking outlines and kind of something that looked like a sketch kind of on a thing. And I wouldn't say this looks like a sketch, but it's kind of started out as that, and then I kept defining it, and I was like, I really like that really the contrast of the black and the white, and then
I was reading it as like a graffiti tag.
yeah, kind of like that,
Yeah, definitely.
very rough and not perfect, and then that extended into the heal fire. We were like, how do we do this big circular AoE thing? Originally it was like the audience was throwing tomatoes and we had this big thing of tomatoes and it just blocked the whole view. It just didn't work, but then we were like, oh, let's stick with this visual style and just keep going with that. So it started out as just kind of like trying to do an outline kind of thing, and then over time I was like, okay, go from the black to the white, and and then get into this. So.
Yeah, the way it looks with the environment and everything else, it's that thing in games where it looks like it was all meant to be. You know what I mean? It's like it's that integration that we really look for in professional games. It's there.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a big part of it. The contrast of that 2D against the 3D is just it's really cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are winding down.
Yeah.
Drop some knowledge bomb. This is effective. This is great. What advice would you give to other teams to say this is you too can be like us?
Sam, do you have anything?
Any takeaways?
I might be able to come up with something.
I guess as far as like production studio like specifically, I would say definitely like early on you have that first like week or two to really like everybody has their ideas to pitch, and very good to like just pay a lot of attention there and think like of all those, like what team do you really see yourself like working well with from the start. You know, just like we all just worked really well together like from the very beginning. I think you know, you and Brian had this idea, and then like Josh and I just immediately wanted to work on it. So I think that's a big part, just making sure you find a team that you're going to work well with. I don't know if you have much else to add, but
No, I think that's really good. It can be difficult, you know, because you're meeting new people and stuff like that. But I'd say just like focus on the fun. You know, something that, you know, you and everyone else on the team, like, you guys were always responding to messages and stuff. So try to be that for your team. You know, always respond to messages. You know, give or take. You know, obviously if it's like 2 a.m, you know, you responded to some of those, so I appreciate that. But you know, don't expect that from everyone, because that's not. You shouldn't be messaging at 2 a.m. But you know, having that communication, just open channel, basically, is really helpful. And yeah, you know, focus on the fun part of it. You know, every time we got together after the class in the lab, I mean, we were always playing it. You know, we were always just running games, and we would sometimes bring in like snacks and stuff, and then whoever won the most matches would get the last you know, bite of cake or something like that. So
I like that. Focus on the fun.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
That is great. So you've dropped in the comments how they can get the game?
Yep, somebody was asking, and somebody actually beat me to posting the itch link. So
Okay.
we got some fans in chat that are on top of it.
What's their name? If you don't mind, I'm just curious.
It's the Dexter 19.
Oh, that's Brian. So he made all the music and sound effects and stuff, and he did some of the programming as well with that. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful work. I
Yeah.
noted. I'm getting it. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
It's
well
free
done.
and everything. So
Thank you.
thank you very
Thanks.
much.
And we'll be right back with another game.